Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Isaiah. I also go by Zay, and I am here with.
My name is Connie.
And this is the first official episode of the Saga-City Podcast.
Let's get after it.
Nice to have you, King. It's finally here. We have been working behind the scenes on this podcast for months. This is months in the making, sir, and I'm blessed and honored and happy and excited to finally have started this podcast with you. So
it's a journey.
So today's first episode, I feel like we deserve, or y'all deserve rather, to get to know us a little bit. So I wrote down some questions. He helped me with some questions, and we're going to give y'all a little bit of our backgrounds, what we're like, how we operate, how we think. And from this point forward, I think y'all will get a good basis of who we are, and I'm excited. And if you're ready, I'll hit you with the first question.
Yeah, let's get after it.
Mr. Conney, I'll ask you who, what, where, when, and why questions, and I'll start with who. So the first question I'll ask you is, who are you, and who is the person that you want to become?
Who am I? I guess to start off, a little bit about myself. I'm currently a senior at VCU, about to graduate in the spring. Feels good to almost be done. I was born in New Jersey, kind of grew up there, moved around a lot, so I have a lot of experience in terms of being in different places, seeing different people. In terms of like experiences, like playing sports, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be talk a little bit about all that kind of experience.
Yes, sir.
And then as for the person that I want to be, that's a hard question. I think at the end of the day, I want to be someone who is successful and somebody who who is like okay with things that are going on. Though Absolutely. I guess I would consider it like self-actualization, you know, like in terms of like the levels of being comfortable with myself when things are going awry. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. So who am I? My name is Isaiah, born in the Bronx. Big family. Moved down to Virginia while I was a young lad. Grew up in Virginia most part of my life. And I feel like I'm just a energetic, inquisitive guy who loves to know the reasons to everything. I'm the type of guy that's going to ask you why after everything you say, you know. So I feel like who I am, I'm just a growing man learning. I have my flaws as everyone does. And the man I want to become a role model. Someone my family can look up to, someone other men can look up to, other African American men can look up to, just a pillar in my community, a pillar for my family, someone who's dependable, someone just, honestly, I'm just naming qualities that I would love to be. Obviously, I just want to be a well-rounded guy. I feel 100%. Like everybody wants to, and I don't have a concrete goal right now, but I feel like if I wake up every day and try to be the greatest I can be, I feel like nothing but positive things can happen.
No, agreed. Before we do get on to more questions, I do want to say, like, can we discuss why we're doing this a little bit, like in terms of like what this podcast is?
That's beautiful, because the next question was a what question.
Oh, okay. My fault.
You're right on target, Mr. Burger. All right, so
just so people know what we're talking about, you know, like why we're doing this.
Yeah. So the what would be, what is the purpose of this podcast? You want to start it out?
Sure. I guess for me, the what would be, I want to kind of be able to talk about things in terms of where I am in life and bring people like some insight, some guidance into like what it's like to be a college student currently, what it's like to be a black man currently, what it's like to be like what in terms of like politics, current events, like things like that. I want people to be informed. I want it to be something where it's like very engaging, but something that's kind of gives people like we're all gonna kind of going through this together, you know. Absolutely. It's like an all learning experience. So for me, I think that's my goal, you know, and why we did this.
Absolutely. For me, part of it is just you're literally my brother. You feel like blood, and I learn a lot from you. I feel like we have great conversations, and this is a great excuse for me to come and talk to you more. If I'm being completely honest. But if I'm thinking macro, big picture, I want a platform where I can grow, where you can grow, where people can listen, learn something valuable. I don't feel like there's a lot of podcasts that are valuable and that talk about things that we should be talking about. maybe that's controversial. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't looked at a lot of them, but I think we have a different flair about us. We have a different mindset, and we're in our process. You know, you can see podcasts of people who have already made it, kind of thing.
Right.
But I feel like a dimension that we have is like we're currently in it. We're like relatable.
Yeah.
You can relate to two college students trying to find themselves.
Right.
I feel like that's just so relatable, and I just want to have a fun, inquisitive podcast where we can both learn from each other and learn from other people as well when we have them on. And this is a great start for me, and I'm very, very excited. And I thank you up and down 20 times for doing this, brother. Thank you so much.
No, likewise. I mean, I think this will be a joint project, a joint venture. As you can see, like we're both trying to do the whole growth thing, trying to figure out life as it is. And as for the podcast, it kind of feels the same way. Like we're going for just start of bigger and better things. You know, this is one of many. So you'll see you'll see us grow in terms of this podcast. But you also see like everything around us in terms of like how we want the images of us to look like, the studio
sir.
and around us to
Yes,
kind of grow. So
sir.
it'll be something that kind of like adapts and grows as we go along.
Okay. So that was a good what question. I'll go when right now. I'll go when you look in the mirror, are you happy with the person that you currently are?
I would say yeah. I definitely think that if you asked me this like a few months ago, I would kind of be unsure, you know? But I feel like I've kind of gotten to the point of especially this year, almost being done with college, figuring out what to do next. I feel confident in myself now. I feel that I've kind of learned who I am and where I came from, and I'm using those things as lessons that I've learned and finally adapting them into my current lifestyle, you know? And I would say that, of course, there's still growing to do, but I'd say, yeah, I'm currently happy with who I am and what I want, where I'm going in terms of when I look in the mirror.
To add on to that, I love the way you carry yourself, and from the outside looking in, I feel like I could tell that you're happy with who you are, and that's an inspiring thing to see. And just like since I'm so close to you, it just makes me happy to see that.
Right.
So I actually am glad that you are.
Thank you.
Do I believe that I'm happy with the man that I see? I think overall, yeah. If I were to go to the past and look at my past self and say, hey, do you think you back then are proud of me now? I think he would say absolutely. You know, I never thought that I would be where I am today, but I don't know, man. I'm in my head a lot. If I'm being honest, bro, I'm in my head about the dumbest shit, and the insecurities take over a lot. And I know as men, you don't really get to, well, you get to express it, but who really as a man really wants to express it or has the courage to express it? It's not seen as courage. But I guess that's the reason why I'm trying to start this podcast, is because I want to be proud of that man. I want to look in the mirror and be content.
So do you think like is this gonna be like check-in for you? Like this is something that you're gonna be able to look back on and see that like this is where you started, this is where we're going type thing?
Yes.
So it's like full growth for you too?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm glad we're on the same page
Full
with that.
growth. Absolute full growth.
Cool.
I want to go raw. I want to take this podcast personality and be able to be this guy everywhere.
Right.
Because I feel like even though we're recording, this is my safe space. And I hope you would...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It means my house.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I hope it's my safe. I hope it's my
This
safe
is the
space.
crib, of course. I just want to be the best person that I can be. And yeah, I wake up a couple of days out of the week and I'm not happy with where I am. I'm not happy with who I am. But I feel like not everybody wakes up every single day in that headspace. So maybe I just got to give myself a little bit more grace and trust to know that I'll eventually find my way. So I'd say it's 50-50, flip a coin.
Right.
You wake up,
Yeah.
his head's one day, his tail's another day, just to be completely honest.
Straight up.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's see. Let's go. Do I want to go when, or do I want to do another what? I'll do another what question.
Mm-hmm.
So what event or events have shaped you to be the person that you are today?
I would definitely say the biggest event that kind of put me into who I become is losing my dad to pancreatic cancer. For those who don't know, like, I'll definitely get into more of that later on, and I'm sure in multiple episodes. But I think that in terms of like the lessons that my dad instilled on me before he passed, and also like growing up and becoming a man a little faster than I should have or would have otherwise. I think that it was something that just made me grow up a little faster, and I just got to see a lot of different things that I probably wouldn't see otherwise. So I think that experience 100% shaped me into who I am, but also like I as much as it was a traumatic experience, I would also say that it was a learning experience in and of itself. So yeah, that's mine. What about you?
Well, first to piggyback off of that, I remember when you first told me that, and the way you expressed it and the way you carried yourself while you were telling me about the situation showed a lot of maturity,
Right.
a lot of growth, and I immediately resonated with that because I'm lucky enough to not have experienced that yet, but seeing you carry yourself in that way makes me know that when it does eventually happen, that I will be able to look at it as a stepping stone and something that can hold me down instead of something that can bring me down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think kind of a little bit adding on to it, and the way that I kind of put it into perspective is that I know like you're going to go through things in life that are just as like traumatic and things, but it's just keeping things somewhat normal and putting one foot in front of the other, you know, and I feel like that is what really got me through. Because like I think about it all the time, like what if this didn't happen, or what if that didn't happen. But if you think about that too much, it's a lot. So, but again, I'll get in more detail, I'm sure, later on.
Yeah, I just want to elaborate because that's a very powerful thing. Okay, what event or events have shaped me? Two big parts of my life is my father and my sisters. My sisters are the loves of my life. I wake up every day. I think about them every single second of the day. I have a lot of them. I give equally amounts of love to all of them. I try to, but they're my motivation to be the man that I can be. I want to be able to hold them down, give them whatever they want, be somewhat like my dad. My dad is the most hardworking man that I have ever witnessed. The quality that I admire about myself the most would be my discipline, and I only have it because of that man, you know? So when you put together the discipline that I've gotten from my father, the love from my mother, and the grit and the experiences that I've had with all of my sisters, I feel like those three events, quote unquote, definitely shaped me into the man that I am today. And I'm forever grateful for them. I do whatever for them, but I want to add you into that as well because you're a brother of mine, even though we weren't born from the same person. I definitely see you as literal kin to me.
Oh, facts.
So
that's likewise.
Do you want to let them know how we met?
Yeah, sure. So to guess preface, we are a part of a fraternity here at VCU, Pi Kappa Phi, and I met him at a Rush event. I guess I joined fall 2018 and you were fall 2019. Is that right? Yeah. So we were at this Rush event, and I remember, like, again, just, you know, doing the whole fraternity thing, you know, meeting guys, shaking hands. Yeah, that aspect of it. And then
romancing.
Yeah. And then I remember meeting you and having a conversation, and just immediately, right off the bat, having an intellectual conversation and just clicking. Like, it was one of those things that I've always felt that it's been hard to relate to people in terms of being like, like intellectually. I feel like and I've moved around so much, I've never really sat down and had somebody like, let's have a good conversation type thing. And I just know that, like, right then and there, it was a wrap. We understood each other, and then we had conversations after that, and it made sense.
Yeah. The crazy part about it is I only pulled up on him because, first of all, I'm this newbie guy rushing a newbie fraternity, and I'm not even a frat guy. So I was why am I even here? But we have hard Greek letters, and you get to design them. And his Greek letters were like a Mickey Mouse, red and white, and it stood out. It was like I was looking in a crowd of brothers with letters, and then I just see a nice Mickey Mouse, drippy ass light skin with curly hair. And I was like, who is this kid? Like, who is this guy? I was like, I'm probably going to pull up on him. He's going to be confident and cocky. Like, I'll pull all the girls and stuff. So I pull up on him. I talk about his drip. And I've never had such an intimate conversation as like a first conversation with the person. Unless you're like drunk and you're with, you know what I'm saying, you're drunk and you meet someone random and then they just pour your life out to you, like completely sober.
Yeah.
Having that conversation, I was like, it doesn't matter where else I go to rush or fraternity. I was like, I'm gonna remember this conversation and this interaction, and ultimately, you and a couple of other people who I had similar conversations with were the reason that I ended up joining and eventually becoming your little. And from that stemmed a brotherhood outside of our fraternity brotherhood.
Yeah, no, and I think that like it's one of the things that like we, again, you were saying like we're both not fraternity people, like in terms of like what you would typically expect or imagine. But I think the thing is like we both knew that off the bat, and we both knew that like there was growth here, and we did it. You know, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
Hella fun.
It definitely was an experience, and I guess we can just chalk it up to that. You know.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh wait, another weird fact, kinda that added to the depth of our relationship.
Yeah. You told me your birthday, and it happened to be October 27th, which is the day that my dad passed. So his passing anniversary was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it was just to me as a sign of like this is meant to be, you know.
And it was because leading up to then, when we were talking about his father's passing and what his father was like, he was telling me I had qualities of his father.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking, and my birthday happened to be on the day that he passed. And then we just looked at each other and we were like, bro, like if like this isn't fate, or if we don't even believe in fate, if this isn't a sign or something that we were meant to be in each other's lives in some way, shape, or form, then I don't know what is.
No, you're totally right, and I think that was the birth of this, I guess, in a way. You know, we're here now.
The birth of something great.
Yeah.
All right, I think I can hit you with. Wait, let's just do something simple. Let's do a where. Where are we located? And after that, as a follow up, where do you see this podcast going in the future?
Right now, I guess we are currently in Richmond because I go to VCU, so we're doing this right here. And I guess the whole point is we want it to be relatable to kind of like city aspect, hence the name Saga-City. So I think that whole aspect is incorporated, but I also think that like where we're going is also in terms of the name of the podcast, sagacious in terms of we are two wise people trying to project and help other people out and provide wisdom and provide experience. So I think that like in terms of where we're going, I want that to be the main focus. Like I don't want it to be feel forced, feel uncomfortable. Like this is just two dudes having an intellectual conversation so that you know we can help other people grow and something just to listen to.
Easily. Piggybacking, we are located in Richmond, as you said, a nice city, a lot better than, or a lot bigger and more opportune than Danville, Virginia, where I'm from. And where do I see this podcast going? I'm a big dreamer, bro. You know that.
Yeah,
I'm all or nothing, bro. I see you here, me here, and then like Oprah right here. And I want Oprah to be asking us, you know, why hasn't there been a duo like you two
prior to this?
You know what I'm saying? Because there probably are a lot of people who want to do this podcasting shit, who really want to start, but are either scared of exposing themselves or scared of other people accepting the podcast, scared of people judging their thoughts, judging how they think, when in reality, I feel like everything is a lesson. And obviously, eventually, we're going to get a little bit of hate. We're going to get some opinions that we don't agree with, but
we'll talk it out.
You talk it out. You be objective. You take it on the chin, and then you go about your day, 100%. Bro. You can't let other people influence a dream that you have, and this is a dream of mine. I didn't know it was going to be in podcast form, but having these conversations has always been in the back of my mind. I just didn't know how, whether it be YouTube, whether it be podcasting. I don't know, bro. But
I mean, I see you as like a influencer in a way, but like not just like like what we consider influencer, but more of a somebody who provides more wisdom than I guess a typical influencer. And I guess to me, it's like it's cool to see you in this realm because you doing YouTube thing, and now we're doing this. You've elevated. You know, you've gone to a place where we can move forward.
We can coerce.
Yeah.
Yeah, the YouTube was a grind. I'm
Yeah.
an idiot, bro. I started off with a 100-day challenge. Of
I
posting.
don't know. I don't know how you. That
I'm
was.
just go big or go home, bro. I don't know why it's in my genes like that, but that's just how I am.
I love it.
And I eventually want to go back to that, but as a good, settling down, getting your mind right, getting your vision right, I feel like this is a good place for me to even express my emotions about that and get a clearer perspective about how I feel about the YouTube and everything. But
Yeah.
I'm just you're very creative and I'm very creative, and I'm glad we just found a platform that we can just be creative together. That's the main thing for real.
I have a lot to say. Like I'm a quiet guy in real life, but I feel like there's a lot going on up here, and I want to share it.
Yes.
So it's not just you. It's not just
Yes.
you. Like this is
Yes.
good. This is great for both of us.
Yes. You're definitely the observer.
Oh yeah.
Walk into a room, you're gonna scan out everything. Your brain is moving 100 miles per hour. You're gonna recognize things that I don't even see.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy that just runs in and goes straight to the crowd. And then you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? You didn't even notice the shit that I noticed."
Yeah. Yeah. It's like if we're like spies or like some agents. You're like the dude who's gonna like you have the charisma to get it done, and I'm just over there like, all right, like we see this, and how am I gonna analyze it from my point of view?
And
So
then,
it's a cool duo.
yeah, that's
cool
what I'm
duo.
saying. I feel like I like the dynamic. I like that we're not entirely the same.
Yeah.
And that you can give me insight on a lot of things that I don't really know about or that I don't even think about, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's
It's cool.
why I love
Cool
it.
relationship.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Let's see another question. How are we? Do you think that's enough, or do you think we should go deeper?
I think we kind of like laid out kind of like what we're going, who we are, what we're about. Anything off the dome else you want to say about what we're going for?
Nothing off the dome. I can kind of talk about how I've been recently. So I've been very anxious about life recently, just because I'm in like a weird spot of like about to leave college, going into the real world, but not necessarily knowing what you want to do.
Yeah.
So weirdly enough, I had a panic attack 3 days ago. I didn't really tell
Really?
anyone.
Yeah.
I was having trouble breathing and stuff. I don't know if it was an anxiety attack or panic attack. It was some type of attack. But,
Right.
First time I've ever experienced something like that. It was scary, bro. I was like having trouble breathing and I didn't know what to think. I was just like, I just need to just learn how to just breathe. So I did some meditation, and I'm really on the meditation wave, bro.
It works. As much as people like think it's like cheesy.
You meditate?
I don't meditate often, but I do have like when I do feel it and I do need to, like, yeah. Like I remember like when I was going through things, and like when anxiety does get high, like really high, I definitely do meditate. Like I have a few apps on my phone, and Headspace is the one that I use for me, and it's really nice. Like a lot of times like we get so caught up in the daily life that you forget to take a step back, but I'm sorry to hear that for one.
Yeah, I mean, we power through.
Yeah.
Power through it all. But
Sure.
yeah, I wasn't comfortable really talking about it for the first couple of days because I was like, I don't even know what it is. And then I just started like looking up and researching, like, what was I thinking in the moment? How did it even happen?
I think one thing I would say is like for people who don't know what that's like, it's hard to relate to. It's like until you experience one yourself, you're like, this is totally foreign. The idea of it kind of seems weird. Like it seems
had
all
one?
new. Oh yeah, multiple times.
Really?
Multiple times.
So you're feeling where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Scary, right?
Yeah, it's terrifying because you don't know. Like you feel physically wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you feel physically ill, but your body, and you feel like your body's trying to like cope and figure it out on its own. But it's like you don't know what to do.
Brother, I'll tell you what. I'm usually like in a moment, I kind of have like a wit to just know what to do. In
Yeah.
that moment, I had no clue what to do. I just felt helpless.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's very real like that, and I think that again, if you haven't experienced it, it's something that if you could imagine like your body really reacting to physically, it feels like you're physically reacting to something, but it's more coming from what you're thinking about. It's very like alarming.
Yeah. Shit was scary, bro. Is there anything going on with you in this current life, or just anything you want to get off your chest?
Immediately no. Like I feel like I have, I wouldn't say everything under control, but I definitely feel like I'm juggling quite a bit. I'm busy in terms of like figuring out what's next. Like this being my last semester in college, like I have a few internships going on in terms of finishing schoolwork. So I feel like that's where most of my focus is. I'm juggling it the best I can. Like I definitely say today is I got to do more work, but Work is work.
Work is work.
It'll get done.
We grind.
We grind.
We get it done, brother.
Yeah.
I think this is a good stopping spot for
Cool.
the first episode.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I will say this after every episode if I have to. I'm very thankful for this journey that we're about to take, and I'm excited to see where we can take it at its full potential.
Same here.
So,
With that.
So right now we will have an outro in the future.
Yeah.
So right now we'll just end it on a good night. Thank you for listening, and we will see you very, very, very soon.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, brother. Good shit.